Hey story lovers, this is Clinton Manning and you're watching Tales by Firelight. A long time ago in the 1800s, in the southern part of Brazil, it was a time of slavery. There was a slave owner who was known for being really mean and nasty with the slaves. He would beat them and he had no mercy. And this man, he had lots of horses, lots of land, lots of slaves. Now he had a horse that he absolutely loved, a beautiful white horse, and he commissioned that a young child would take care of this horse. It was this young boy's job. That's what he focused on all the time. And this horse was the horse that he would always choose to take into town whenever there was an event or when he was trying to court a lady. He would call for the young man to come prepare the horse so he can go out and have a good time. And then at the end of the day, whenever he returned, he would take the horse back into the stall and take care of him. So one day, there was an event that the man had to go to. And he called the young boy to prep the horse to get it ready for him. The boy came running, did everything right, everything he needed to do, and gave it to the slave owner. So when the slave owner came back, the young man heard his name being called and he came running. He grabbed the horse, the beautiful horse, by the reins and started taking it back to the stable. Now on the way to the stable, the horse got spooked by a snake. And the horse started to run really fast deep into the forest. When the boy realized what had happened, he began running, chasing the horse as fast as he could. And the horse was really fast, so the poor little boy was running. He was running as fast as he could. Pretty soon, he lost the horse. He was out of sight, and he didn't know what to do. So looking down, feeling terrified because he knew he was going to get a beating, he went back to the slave owner. He walked up to the slave owner on his porch. No, the porch was where the slave owner would relax. He would sit in the evenings on a rocking chair, smoking his pipe, watching the sun go down. So when the meek little slave boy walked up to him and told him that he had lost his horse, the slave owner was furious. He immediately stood up, called for some of his other slaves to grab the slave boy, and they took him and they beat him. After that, he grabbed that poor slave boy, and he could hardly walk from the beatings, and he told him to go into the forest and not to come back until he found the horse. So the poor boy, he spent hours all night long looking for this horse. And the next morning, they found the poor boy lying on the ground, passed out from exhaustion. So the slave owner, when he saw him lying on the ground, he still had no mercy. So he called some of his other slaves, and they took the poor boy. He told them to tie him up, pour honey all over him, and put him on an anthill. There are these ants in Brazil. They have big mounds, and pretty much anything that goes near them, they would be eaten alive. Well, they left that poor slave boy tied up all day long on the anthill. At the end of the day, the only thing left were the ropes that he used to tie his hands and feet together. That night, the slave master, he was so upset because he lost his favorite horse. He did not care about the poor child. He couldn't even get to bed, so he went back to his porch and he lit up his pipe and he laid back in his rocking chair, just annoyed, just thinking about the day, wishing he had his horse back because it was his favorite horse. When suddenly, out in the distance, he saw what looked like a horse coming towards him. And as he looked deep into the forest, he realized that it was his horse. So he stood up, and he was so happy. His horse was coming back. He started walking down the steps towards where the horse was walking, and the horse was walking directly towards him. But pretty soon he noticed that a little boy, the little boy, was holding the horse's reins. Slowly the boy walked the horse all the way up to the slave owner, and he handed the reins to the slave owner. The slave owner was confused because he thought the boy had died from the ants. And just as he was thinking that, the boy disappeared. So even in death, the boy continued to do the best he could, and he brought the horse back to his master. Hey story lovers, thanks for watching Tales by Firelight. If you don't want to miss another tale, please subscribe on YouTube for a better viewing experience and hit that little bell so you get a reminder. Or if you prefer Facebook, please follow me, see first, and you'll get the tales every week. Thanks for watching. See you again next week.